This is Monday, January 25th's reading lesson. Our objective today is I can use my knowledge of plurals in order to spell words. Our word study this week is related to irregular plurals. So plurals are words that represent more than one of something. For example, the noun boy is a singular noun because it only represents one boy, but the plural form of it is boys, and that represents more than one boy. Usually we can just add an S to a word in order to make it plural, but sometimes words are irregular and break this rule. For example, the word leaf, we actually change that to leaves. So we drop the F and add VES. The noun goose is singular, meaning one goose, but if we change that into a plural noun, we get the noun geese. So a review of Module 7, this entire module is over making a difference, and the essential question with this module is, how can one person make a meaningful difference in their local or global community? So let's take a look at our vocabulary words for this week, so that way when we come across them in the story, we'll know and understand what they mean. First, we have the word recycled. When something is described as recycled, it has been used again or in a different way. Confess or confesses. If someone confesses something, he or she admits to doing or saying something wrong. The next word we have is forage. When animals forage, they search through an area to find food. Our vocabulary strategy this week is still related to analogies. We worked with this last week during reading and writing as well. An analogy is a comparison between two sets of words. Sometimes these words are synonyms, sometimes they're antonyms, or sometimes they just have some sort of relationship together. So the best strategy in order to complete an analogy is to identify what relationship the two given words have, and then you can get a better idea of what goes in the blank. So the first example we have here is calm is to excited as curvy is to blank. So I know that calm and excited are opposites, so that means that I need an opposite word of curvy in the blank here. So I put the word straight. Next, we have furious and is to angry as good is to blank. Again, I know that furious and angry are synonyms, so that means that I need a synonym in the blank here, a synonym for good, and I put great. Our suffix study this week, we're going to be looking at the suffixes ness and able. So we already know that suffixes are added to the end of a base word, and it changes the meaning of the word, and sometimes it changes the part of speech of the word as well. So the suffix ness means quality or state. The suffix able means capable of or able to. For example, happy, if we add the suffix ness onto it, it becomes happiness, and the definition is to be in a happy state. Dark changes to darkness, and that means to be in a dark state. Sick with the suffix ness turns into sickness, and the definition is to be in a sick state. Next, let's look at some words with the suffix able. If we add the suffix able onto the word do, we get doable, and that means that something is able to be done. Believe changes to believable, and this means that something is able to be believed. Break changes to breakable, and this changes the definition into able to be broken. The skill we're going to focus on this week is text structure, but we'll specifically study problem and solution in chronological order text structure. Our story this week is called One Plastic Bag, and this is also a biography just like last week's story. A biography is the story of a real person's life written by someone other than that person. Authors of biography usually use sequential or chronological order. They may tell how real people felt about events described in the text. And biographies also include third-person pronouns such as he, she, him, her, his, hers, they, them, and their. So I'm going to go ahead and play the read aloud of our weekly story, One Plastic Bag. If you have your HMH book handy, you can use that to follow along as well. As you listen, think to yourself what the characters in the story did in order to make a difference in their community. So I will go ahead and play the story. And like I said, it is titled One Plastic Bag.
Njau, Gambia. Isatu walks with her chin frozen. Fat raindrops pelt her bare arms. Her face hides in the shadow of a palm leaf basket, and her neck stings with every step. Warm scents of burning wood and bubbling peanut stew drift past. Her village is close now. She lifts her nose to catch the smell. The basket tips. One fruit tumbles, then two, then 10. The basket breaks. Isatu kicks the dirt. Something silky dances past her eyes, softening her anger. It moves like a flag, flapping in the wind, and settles under a tamarind tree. Isatu slides the strange fabric through her fingers and discovers it can carry things inside. She gathers her fruits in the bag. The basket is useless now. She drops it, knowing it will crumble and mix back in with the dirt. 4 goats greet Isatu as Grandmother Mbamba emerges from her kitchen hut. Hurry in before this rain soaks your beautiful mbuba. Isatu scurries in, and Grandmother serves spicy rice and fish. Rain drums on the creaking aluminum roof. I broke your basket, Isatu confesses. But I found this. Plastic, Grandmother frowns. There's more in the city. Day after day, Isatu watches neighbors tote their things in bright blue or black plastic bags. Children slurp water and wanjo from tiny holes poked in clear bags. Market trays fill with minties wrapped in rainbows of plastic. The colors are beautiful, she thinks. She swings her bag high. The handle breaks. 1 paper escapes, then 2, then 10. Isatu shakes sand off her papers. Another plastic bag floats by, and she tucks her things inside. The torn bag is useless now. She drops it to the dirt, as everyone does. There's nowhere else to put it. Day after day, the bag she dropped is still there. 1 plastic bag becomes 2, then 10, then 100. Plastic isn't beautiful anymore, she thinks. Her feet step down a cleaner path, and the thought floats away. Years pass, and Isatu grows into a woman. She barely notices the ugliness growing around her, until the ugliness finds its way to her. Isatu hears a goat crying and hurries towards Grandmother's house. Why is it tied up? Where are the other goats? Inside, the butcher is speaking in a low voice. Many goats have been eating these, he says. The bags twist around their insides, and the animals cannot survive. Now 3 of your goats and so many other goats in the village have died. Grandmother Mbambe's powerful shoulders sag. Isatu must be strong and do something. But what? Isatu's feet lead her to the old, ugly road. A pile of garbage stands as wide as Grandmother's cooking hut. Mosquitoes swarm near dirty pools of water alongside the pile. Smoke from burning plastic stings her nose. Her feet back away. Goats scamper past. They forage through the trash for food. Her feet stop. She knows too much to ignore it now. Holding her breath, she plucks 1 plastic bag from the pile. Then 2, then 10, then 100. What can we do? Isatu asks her friends. Let's wash them, says Fatim, pulling out Omo soap. Marim grabs a bucket, and Incha fetches water from the well. Peggy finds clothespins, and they clip the washed bags on the line. As the bags dry, Isatu watches her sister crochet. Can you teach me? Wow, yes. Her sister shows Isatu the stitches, then hands her a metal tool. Isatu's fingers busy themselves. In, out, around. Jarajef, thank you. Isatu finds a broomstick and carves her own tool from its wood. What's that for? Fatima asks. Isatu pauses. She and Peggy have an idea. But will their friends think it's crazy? Will the idea even work? Nervously, she explains the plan. One friend agrees to help. Then 2. Then 5. The women cut bags into strips and roll them into spools of plastic thread. Before long, they teach themselves how to crochet with this thread. Nakaligibi? Asks grandmother. How is the work? Ndanka, ndanka, answers Isatu. Slow. Some people in the village laugh at us. Others call us dirty. But I believe what we are doing is good. The women crochet by candlelight, away from those who mock them, until a morning comes when they will no longer work in secret. Fingers sore and blistered, Isatu hauls the recycled purses to the city. One person laughs at her. Then 2, then 10, then... Recycled. When something is described as recycled, it has been used again or used in a different way. One woman lays Dalasi coins on the table. She chooses a purse and shows it to one friend. Then 2, then 10. Soon everyone wants one. Isatu fills her own purse with Dalasi. She zips it shut and rides home to tell grandmother she has made enough to buy a new goat. When she passes by the pile of rubbish, she smiles because it is smaller now. She tells herself, one day it will be gone and my home will be beautiful. And one day it was.
So that is our story for the week. Our exit ticket is on Edulastic, and it's just related to our word study this week. So sorting our words to our words based on whether they are singular or plural. If you have any questions regarding this lesson, please let me know.